Hi there, and welcome to this episode where we will talk about a very common question, which is this my new normal? I get that one quite often. And the typical scenario is someone who, has started to see why they had trouble sleeping, is doing overall better, but there's still things that seem to have become like the new pattern. And the question becomes, all right, is this just something kind of I have to live with? Is my new normal or not? Okay, so if you've had those type of questions, perfect for you. If you haven't, I think you can still learn a lot from this video. So let's use this example. So let's say someone had a lot of trouble sleeping, now is doing overall better, sleep happens easier, but they started noticing that before they used to wake up, closer to 6 typically, but now it's 4:30. So now I'm starting to wake up at 4:30. Is this my new normal? That's the question. And it's a very understandable question because, of course, we naturally tend to forecast and we want to know what the future holds and, what's going to happen in the future. So that question very naturally comes up. And now the short answer to the question, is this my new normal, is no, it's not. It's not a new normal. There's nothing different between, yourself, where you're living, the planet you're on, now versus when you didn't have trouble sleeping. So there's absolutely nothing that stands in your way of sleeping just like you did before, except a little of residual hyperarousal. The brain, when you've had insomnia, has been really scared. And that, that fear of being awake, keeps you awake. And when that starts to fade, your sleep comes a little bit easier. But often there's a little bit of residual hyperarousal, a little bit of fear, like, the brain always wants to keep you safe. So then you wake up, for example, at 4:30, or you wake up multiple times. You may overall do better, but you have multiple awakenings, something like that. Now, when that hyperarousal then fades out completely, you sleep just as you did before. Now, here comes the twist. This episode has a little twist to it, a little odd twist, and which is the following. Thinking of what's happening as a new normal actually may be really, really helpful. This is kind of bizarre, right? It's kind of weird, but it can be really helpful. And the reason being is that if you listen to this and you're like, okay, great, this 4:30 awakening, it's not my new normal. It's just a little bit of time left. The hyperarousal will go away and then things will be just like before. But I wonder how long it's going to take, right? Thinking of it as like, this is not my new normal can lead to like, when will it stop happening? When will I go back to the things before? Maybe I should change something. Maybe there's a little bit more preoccupation, which, as we know, leads to some more trouble sleeping. On the flip side, if you think of it as like, well, I guess this is my new normal, then that leads to no pressure, and when there's no pressure, no preoccupation, no wandering, no pondering, no timelines, sleep happens easier. And bizarrely, when you kind of think of it as this is my new normal, then you easily go back to the way things were before when there's no more preoccupation. So just a short episode, this one, where we learned two things really, which is that no, these residual things are not the new normal, but in a bizarre twist, thinking of it as kind of like, all right, this is the way it is. It is maybe my new normal. That leads you easily back to a place where sleep happens all by itself. So I hope this was helpful to you and look forward to any thoughts, comment on this one. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Oh, by the way, if you would like some more help, connecting the dots, getting to a place where sleep happens easily for you, then please head over to our website, sleepcoachschool.com, and you can find ways to work with myself. And I would be super happy to have you as a client if you need a little bit more support on your path. So with that said, I will look forward to having you back here real soon. Bye for now.